Is it even possible to turn forest into pasture just using a chainsaw? If you've seen some of our other videos, you know that we bought 30 acres of mostly timber property, but we want to raise grass-fed beef and pasture poultry. We need to turn these trees into grass. Now, I've cleared a few acres with a forestry mulcher, but that runs about $4,000 to $4,500 per week, depending on what you break on them and how much fuel you use. I like the results of the forestry mulcher, but I would need to spend at least another $9,000 to get the results that I want before spring. And I just spent $9 grand on my kids' teeth. So I'm gonna see what I can do with a chainsaw. Hey, people used to clear timber with one of these. I gotta say, one thing the human race hasn't gained over time is patience. All right, let's see what we can do. Changed out my chain and I went to make a cut, and this brand new chain didn't cut anything. I slapped on the chain and I didn't pay attention to which direction it was cutting. Chains don't cut backwards. Holy cow, I'm alive. I was down there, I was down there sawing away. I had my headphones on that are Bluetooth, listening to a podcast, and the lightning just started cracking. I didn't hear the storm coming in. I'm out there in 100-foot plus trees. And yeah, lightning just there we go. Seems like it's, yeah, that's it. The last time I experienced that was on Fort Campbell. We were out doing a training exercise. We were out in the middle of nowhere. Hell started coming down, you know, just when you think it doesn't get any worse and it's raining and it's cold. And then the lightning came in, and we all stacked our rifles up on a tree and just sat out in the open and got held on so that we didn't get struck by lightning. Okay, let's talk about the gear I'm using out here. First of all, I've got a pair of leather gloves, picked up some of these 3M headphones. They're Bluetooth. I can listen to a podcast while I'm working. I don't know, if you're Safety Steve, you might not think that's a good idea, but you're gonna need ear protection running a chainsaw. If you don't use that, then you're not gonna be able to talk to your grandkids. I don't know what to tell you. I also keep a bag of wedges with me and an axe. So I'll show you my chainsaw here in a second, but obviously some tools you have to have with you when you're running your chainsaw is your bar tool. That's gonna help you tighten, loosen, or change out your chain. I've also got this clamp, this kind of this filled vise. I don't know what exactly they call it, but it's a filled vise where you can use it to sharpen your saw out here in the field. And then I've got this steel sharpener. I really like this. It's quick. It's not as, I don't think it does as good of a job as the Grandberg file and joint that I have. I recommend that one as well. That one just locks you in and gets you a perfectly symmetrical filing on each and every tooth. But once you have gotten familiar with how that works and the concept of sharpening a chainsaw, something like this or even just a round file will work just fine, especially when you're out spending full days like I have the last few days. I keep 2 chains, and so before I sharpen, what I do is I change out the chain. And so I'll just rotate those, and then once I've used both of them, then I'll sharpen them. Look guys, you have to have a sharp chain. If you feel your saw bogged down through that cut, what you're doing is you're wearing out your clutch, and you're gonna have to replace that clutch. That's gonna be a much more expensive repair than having 2 chains on hand and taking the time to sharpen them before that ever happens. And finally, what everybody really wants to see is, what chainsaw am I using? This is a Stihl M362. I really like this saw. It's got enough power for what I need. Between cleanup on my mill and doing this several times, I've used it enough to know that I like this saw. So that's what I use to clear timber. Okay, so the question is, can we turn forest into pasture with just a chainsaw? Obviously, yes, we can. It's just gonna take some time and patience and endurance. I'm pretty tired right now. I'm tripping around on things. So I think it's about time to call it quits for the day. I've been working on this for 2 days, and I've put a dent into about 3 acres, maybe a little bit more. I've cut all the trees down, but I still have to go through and buck and clean up all of the felled trees. Some of them I'll use for lumber, and some of them are gonna have to go into a burn pile. That's one reason I really like the forestry mulcher, is because it does this and gets that carbon back into the soil immediately. There's obviously a lot more work to do with the chainsaw, but it's way more cost effective to do so if you've got the time. And I'm actually feeling really good about where we're gonna be setting in March, April timeframe, when spring hits full blast and we're gonna start to see some grass shoot up and rotate our cattle, which will have 4 cows and 4 calves at that time. I'm really excited about that. I've got a lot more work to do before that rolls around. Thanks for watching. If you want to see my forestry mulcher video, it's here. That was quite a few months ago before I had a camera and had worked on my video skills, but it's still there. You can watch it. And I want to thank you for subscribing and hitting the like button. It helps out this channel tremendously. It helps YouTube pick up on our videos and put them out there for everybody to see.